All right, comrades. Comrades? Comrags. No, comrade. This is Russian. Are we live? Are my accents cringing people? We shall find out once I refresh my Jesus, once I refresh my laptop. Doobie doobie dooba. Doobie doobie dooba. Viggy. Ha ha ha, such a funny joke. Anyways. Oh god, hearing myself talk is cringe. Okay, today is the last stream for this week because starting tomorrow I'm back to doing my portrait practice, my primary portrait practice, what you're seeing on my channel, right? The latest shit. What are we on, part 6? Part 7? Some shit like that? Yo, yo, Troubledos. Hey, why'd you delete your comment? I saw that you missed me. Why'd you delete it, you piece of shit? Alright, I need all the goddamn engagement I need on my channel. What's up? Draw along, right? But yeah, I'm doing the portrait drawings, right? So it's tomorrow, I took like 3 weeks off because I had a huge backlog, but my backlog ends this Saturday. So obviously, starting tomorrow, I'll be back to recording and drawing. So anybody who's here, such as Troubledos1, please draw along. Okay. Well, what I'm doing right now is just more interesting shapes, right? Creating complex shapes that have a function. Right now, I just want to create push. How about push or press as the function? So, hello, anime love you. Yeah, hello, anime love you. I wonder if this is an alt account. You think I'm fucking stupid? You think I'm a retard? You think I don't know this shit? You better feel as if I hope you're blushing right now, you little shit. But anyways, uh, lack of context for anybody that isn't me and anime love you aside. Yeah, let's draw along. What am I thinking of? As always, I'm thinking about the box, and I'm thinking really hard. I'm thinking about the function inside the box, right? So obviously I want a press, and I'm thinking about silhouette as well. So maybe, yeah, maybe we could do something like this. And I'm gonna be obviously problem solving. I'm gonna sleep soon. I drew a lot today. Okay, yeah, no worries. I appreciate you stopping by either way, right? Awesome to hear that you drew a lot, right? I'm happy. That's what Troublelotus said. I'm happy you're happy. I'm happy that it's awesome that you fucking drew a lot, and it's sick that you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor, which is a satisfaction you feel from drawing a lot, right? So I'm just trying to think in terms of what an interesting sort of attachment could be here. And obviously it's something I'm just trying to problem solve right now, right? And again, I'm constantly trying to think back to the box as much as I can, right? Maybe that won't make much sense. But yeah, anybody who's watching, not that many people are, it's pretty fucking late. For people watching, yeah, please draw along. I really encourage you to fucking stress the shit out of your brain, right? Like we're all here to learn, but the learning is coming from a pure application of effort, right? That's basically what I jerk off over 99% of the time, right? Effort. So let's put in as much effort as we can today as well. And what I'm drawing here isn't anything crazy or amazing, as you can see. Now that this pen finally works, my lines are back to being garbage, which is good. Right now you guys can actually see what I mean by my lines are just absolute ass, because you see how fucking shaky, thick, inconsistent these lines are? This is what I like, by the way. This is actually what I look forward to when I draw, because that means there's room for improvement, right? So, and again, I'm just trying to figure out like what I can do here. Because I don't want to let go of that functionality that I've described, right? So that's something that's attached. Let's see. I did want a little press. Oh, see, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have drawn over there, but thankfully I stopped right before. But even then, it's already hard to read. So I've already really made many mistakes. The biggest one being the cardinal sin of readability, right? The cardinal sin of readability. But this is the part where we just have to accept that we must be forgiven, for we have sinned, and just do our best to make sense of it as we will, right? Now here's where I'm trying to think about this is like a hinge, right? Again, I'm always about trying to create a hinge. Not because I'm obsessed with hinges, but because hinges are a great way to uh Kiro X Tro. Hello, Kiro X Tro. How's it going? How's it going? Draw along. How'd you find my channel? Are you a subscriber? Are you just here to piss me off with your beautiful, beautiful profile picture? I actually don't even know what your profile picture is. Hey, great. Now I can draw with you as background noise. Wonderful. That's hey Roxy. How's it going? Roxy. I never know what the fuck you how to pronounce that. But oh, I completely disregarded or did not even see what you said last time, which is that you were moving. So, nice. How'd that go? Right? That you seem to have been busy. This is the hashtag YouTuber life, right? Oh, my fans are always messaging me. I can't get to everybody. No, but it's cool to hear that you're also living your life as a human being. What a fucking surprise, right? Not everybody's just on my channel all the time. I'm not even on my channel all the time. Right, but how's it going, Kiro Extro? How'd you find my channel? I haven't seen that name before, so just curious, right? Just curious. Okay, so we want push. I wanted to give the function of push, but now because I've already fucked this up horribly, I need to think about something. Okay, maybe something like that. I don't think that really works. Push, huh? No, I really messed up the shapes. I really, really messed up the shapes, but this is okay because it's just how it is. Yeah, I don't really have anything interesting to say. I'm trying to, because what I wanted to do is like I wanted something here. It's like I want to convey that we can push it with something here, right? But haha, call me Kiro. I found you from your 2-year journey video. Awesome. Somebody who found me from that video. I'm glad that you found me from that video because I hope it really helped anybody like you understand that, hey, it doesn't matter where you start from. Everybody starts from shit, right? And I will say that like some people maybe have started from way less than me and some people have started from way more than me. But I think hopefully I proved with that video that purely through time and effort, it equalizes and it compounds. And at the end of it, you will excel because you will put in as much excellent work and effort as you can, right? Um, what pen art am I using? The Pentel Brush Sign Pen Artist. Fucking again, super retarded name, but that is the Pentel life. They're fucking geniuses, evidently, when it comes to naming their pens. Actually, only this pen. Every other pen is really, really normal. But yeah, how'd you find that video? Not to just not so I'm not just fucking being like, haha, my video was amazing. I'm actually curious how I guess the algorithm, i.e. you, found it, right? Just trying to figure something out. Whatever I'm figuring out right now is, I'll be completely honest, I'm not thinking that much. So you're gonna see that, like, hey, when he's not thinking, it doesn't really look like it makes sense. And again, if my goal is clear silhouette, clear articulation of joints, and clear function and purpose, right? So don't look at the fact that like, oh, kind of lines are kind of clean and the forms look good. No, no, no. This is like for the purpose I've set out with. I'm not thinking as much, therefore my work is suffering, and that is normal, right? That is what you should expect to happen when you're not thinking. But let's see. Oh, you remember law? Yeah, moving has gone great. Now I have time to focus on my art. Awesome, awesome to hear. Awesome to hear. Again, I got a new mic, but I think like OBS in something like my voice is always crackling on this, and I think it lags a bit. So I do want to apologize preemptively if you guys are experiencing that. I don't know what to do about it. I even did optimal settings on fucking like watching a YouTube video and shit for my Mac, but it's just what it is. Very good video. I've been watching it a bit every day, and what you said is so true to just stick around and keep trying. So recently I've been drawing a lot and was looking on tips on YouTube, and then your video popped up in my feed. Great. I specifically titled that fucking video as as universal as I could for beginners, which is this is a video for beginner artists, right? Like that's kind of mainly what I was really trying to do is just because I know, like again, I have been a beginner. I was a beginner for years. or like I wanted to draw for years, and then as a beginner, I noticed that there's just not enough people telling you that, hey, dude, like again, professionals, like a lot of professionals on YouTube do piss me off in the sense that like they'll say shit like they can't even fathom or remember the fact that beginners cannot draw clean lines. They just it's just something that they cannot fathom, right? And that's something that I understand because it's been so long for them, but I was privileged to find art wide. I was fortunate to understand the importance of the fundamentals and to put the work in, right? I was fortunate to just be like, hey, these are the things that work, and to sort of turn my brain off in a sense. And I'm also very fortunate that I could remember and go through the struggles that everybody else has gone through, right? So I'm like, okay, if nobody else is gonna talk about this, I'm gonna fucking talk about this, right? And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna be like, whoop de doo, everybody's a fucking 10 out of 10 artist, right? Like we're all on our own journey. Yes, very true. We are all on our own journey, but every single one of us will go through the every wall. Like every single one of us will go through the exact same walls. How we approach it, how we feel when we approach it, the effort we put in when we go through them, as well as like the particular nuances as to how we learn will differ, but the walls do not change. The walls to any skill acquisition do not change. So I'm really glad that it helped you. I'm really glad that it helped you because I genuinely like I was fucking like caffeinated as shit in that video. You guys could probably tell. I mean, I had a tea, but I have a very low tolerance. So like fucking 10 milligrams of caffeine still does a lot to me, right? But no, like I try not to ramble too much, but at the end of the day, I was just proud that I made a video which I felt came from the heart. It was all part of the plan, right? And that's why I fucking talk about the effort as much as possible. Like, but I'm telling you, if there's one fucking thing you can take away from that video, it's I just need to fucking keep trying and enjoy the effort. Like, literally focus on just sheer effort and output. And the more I think, right? But Roxanne says we have to always keep in mind that being a beginner means messing up and sucking, and that's okay. It's part of the entire process. I agree, but there's another thing I want to add to that. Being a learner, not just a beginner, by the way, anybody who's learning, because I'll tell you right now, I still consider myself a beginner. Maybe to some of you, this doesn't look very beginnerish, but I'm a beginner in silhouette. I'm a beginner in articulation of like mechanical joints and like mechanical design. I'm a beginner in shape design. I'm a beginner in design in general, right? And I'm a beginner in being the god that I want to be at art. So therefore, I'm always a beginner, right? Like, it doesn't change. It doesn't change, right? Like, we should always consider ourselves beginners. There's no such thing as not being a beginner. There's just being a more advanced beginner, in my opinion. And yeah, sure, like I know technically, like yes, there is a beginner and there is intermediate. Like I know that. I'm saying just the mindset I think about is that like there's no fucking point in thinking that oh I'm done being a beginner because the way I think about it is like I'm done being a beginner means that I'm done learning, and that's just an impossibility, right? There's no such thing as being done learning, right? The day you feel like you're done learning is the day you actually just gave up on learning. You know what I mean? I.e., you just gave up on the thing you like. Also, that was clearly a mistake, right? But again, like I'm really struggling right now. There's a box in my mind, but like, how does this come outward, right? I have to visualize this entire thing, and that is also very difficult. And that's the fun part. Again, if it's not difficult, I'm telling you right now, if it's not difficult, there's no growth. Okay? And that's okay if you do not care about growth, right? I personally don't think it's okay, but I understand that it is okay, right? Just because I'm obsessed with learning does not mean everybody else has to be obsessed with learning. But in the context of, let's say you're like me or you want to learn, right? There are specific things that we have to think about. There are specific mindsets that is very, very, very beneficial for us, right? One of them being that the mountain is the climb. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. That was I was trying to fucking say something else and I ended up saying some retarded shit. Not the mountain is the climb. One of those is being that we have to be very realistic. Yeah, ignore every like the last sentence. That made no fucking sense. What I'm trying to say is it is okay to not want to always like put your effort in, right? If that is what you want, right? I personally don't think it's okay because I personally always want to put in as much fucking effort as I possibly can at all times. Like even now while I'm talking, what effort am I putting in? right? Let's clarify. Like, what effort am I putting in? I'm putting in the effort of talking while drawing, right? While visualizing the perspective line, while also fucking mirroring this, right? This is where I'm the most alive right now, like in terms of drawing. This is where I'm like, okay, I am living, I am trying, and that is amazing because I am struggling and my mind is dying. Right? I always want to be in as much discomfort as possible, you know, and that's trainable, right? That's trainable. It is a skill. Every single fucking thing that you can control with your eyes, your mind, your mouth, like your hands, everything is a skill, right? In conjunction, because if we can if we can control it, we can make it better. That's the way I like to think about it. Okay, again, like what is this? And bring that over here, right? So I clearly don't think I got the whole push rhetoric or mechanical function, right? But the beautiful thing is there's still a lot that can be done here that maybe will add to that. But we'll see. We'll see. Because I am talking and thinking, and I'm going to be distracted because I'm going to look at chat, right? Let's see. Roxanne says burp. Did I burp? Hi, I'm a new artist, 11 years old. Dude, what are kids doing on my channel? I have no problem with that, but seriously, YouTube's confusing me. My audience is supposedly 25 to 34-year-olds, like my age group, but that's interesting. Hello, 11-year-old. I swear a lot, so please don't come on this channel. Like, I'm not, dude. I don't want some goddamn like Tiger Mom or Soccer Mom, whatever the fuck they're called, right? Like the fucking what is it? The neighborhood watch committee to be on my ass, be like, oh my God, Vicky. Not now, obviously, with like 900 subscribers, but when with the 900,000, then again, there are many worse channels than mine who are much infinitely bigger than mine. So I don't fucking know. Right. Let's see. So real. So many beginners are just non-artists. Just look at professionals, even normal artists, and just think that they picked up a pen and started creating masterpieces when they completely overlook the amount of effort they put in reaching there. Yes, exactly. You got it, right? It's an expectation versus understanding, to be mediocre. And again, your standards have to be very high. I consider every single bit of this mediocre. This is mediocre. This is literally fucking shit. Am I saying that in a mean way? No, I'm just saying that objectively because my standard is really high. Look at this. This is off center too. God damn it. But that does not mean like we can be objective about our abilities, have extremely high standards, but we also need to acknowledge what it takes to get there. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry, I completely fucking derailed my own train of thought, Jesus. But yeah, many, 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 many people, and also this is off center, it's too far away. I have a hard time balancing this, right? So we need to focus on that. Right. I'll get to the other comments. I saw some other people talking later. Like, give me a bit. I just need to figure this out. Again, trying to think about the box. I know somebody said, am I a bullet hell enjoyer because I enjoy pain? It's not about enjoying pain. It's about enjoying the effort. Many people hear pain. I hear effort, right? I hear discomfort, but more than anything, I simply hear sheer effort, right? Because pain is just reality, Like you're gonna be in pain when you're stagnating, you're gonna be in pain when you're growing, and you're gonna be in pain when you're maintaining. Right? Hashtag Alex Hormozy. I'm just fucking in case somebody's like, wow, this sounds like a complete fucking just a paraphrase. It is. I really, 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 really like a lot of the shit he says because all he promotes is just work your fucking hardest. Right? And I do agree that in this day and age, working hard is a skill that's been lost, and it's a skill that I've been building just recently, right? Like it's something I've just been really trying to focus on, right? But yeah, many people don't understand that it requires work. This is completely off center. Like I know there's a lot of issues here, right? But many people do not understand that things require work, right? And it's not just like, oh, if we're gonna go by art and repetitions, it's not I put 5 reps in and damn, that was hard when you have some shit fucking like loud music playing in the background and you can't even focus on the line that you're making, right? It's I spent 1 hour doing 30 extremely, or let's say even like 5 extremely intentional repetitions where I was trying to envision, if we're going to go by beginner spatial reasoning, I was trying to envision the horizon line and the vanishing point while trying to create a 1 point like a plane that goes to like 1 point here and 1 point there, and I was trying to keep all that in mind while I made the mark, and I tried to keep my hands stable. Quality, right? Quality effort being put into it. You're as focused as you can be. And focus is a skill. The act of focus, the skill of focus is you attempting to refocus every time you lose your focus. That's what skill is, right? Right now, I'm building the skill of talking while drawing, while explaining, while thinking about the box, while thinking about the next shapes that are coming into here, while thinking about the manipulations inside the shapes. These are all skills, and they're very difficult, you know? So again, I will always encourage people to not say the words pain. You want to, if you're going to say something that has a negative connotation, I will, I will permit discomfort, but it's just effort, okay? And it doesn't happen overnight, but the ability to put in effort is a skill in and of itself that you can train. And now I hope after watching that 2 year video, everybody here knows that I'm not full of shit when I'm saying this because I was in the exact same position that you were, right? It's why I titled it "You Are Not Alone" because you really aren't alone. Okay, you're nobody. None of us are unique snowflakes that were like, "Wow, nobody else has ever tried like I have." No, everybody else has tried just as much as you have. You can simply be the person who gave up because they tried a certain amount of times and they didn't see immediate results, or you can be the person who can work for 10 years, see zero results, and keep working. You know what I mean? Because you trust in the effort that you're putting in. But anyways, let's see. Yes, the mountain is the climb. Please, are we gonna immortalize my retarded quotes? When I get t-shirts, that'll be one of them. But the mountain is the climb, actually, it's true. Um, you enjoy pain. Yeah, I already answered that. I'm 27, just started, and I suck. Laughing, crying emoji. Hey, Sarge, yeah, Sarge Ali. Okay, Sarge Ali. I started at 25, and I'm 28 now. Okay, so if you go to that 2 year beginner video, you'll see exactly where I started. All right, being sucking is literally the prerequisite. Failures are just lessons, and genuinely, like every time you make a mistake, that is an opportunity for you to look at that, be like, what are the 2 to 3 things immediately I can recognize, and then you spend the next, let's say, 50 repetitions just practicing reducing that to the best of your ability. You will not reduce it immediately. It will not happen immediately. You will make probably a 1% improvement in over the course of those 50 repetitions. Maybe 5% if you're above average, right? But if you're average or below average like me, it'll be very slow. But the point is, because you're making the effort and because you're attaching positive feelings towards these failures, these errors, and you're making the effort to improve them, your brain will literally do the rest as long as you get the sleep. Sleep is obviously very important, right? Let's see. LMAE8337 said true. Nice. Thank you for saying true. No, it's not that it looks good, and even though it looks easy, it's hard, and I'm good at it because I've practiced for 7 years. Sorry, I don't know what context you're talking about, animation B9J. It's a bit difficult for me to decipher. No, it's not that. It's that it looks good, and even though it looks easy, it's hard. And I'm good at it because I've practiced for 7 years. Oh, this is the 11-year-old. What the hell? Practice for 7 years? Dude, you've been practicing since you were 3? All right, everybody, this is the prodigy we should be looking out for. Well, if you're practicing spatial reasoning, you're 50 million steps ahead of everybody, right? This is the next Kim Jong-un in the making, seeing the goddamn world in 3 dimensions at the age of 4. Again, Kim Jong-un was not he was the only reason he was special is because he was obsessed. Like I listened to a podcast way back, like a few years, 2 years ago at this point, about the difference between art prodigies and other prodigies, and art prodigies are just obsessed. That's literally it. And lo and behold, and they're just obsessed with translating the world into drawings. And lo and behold, Kim Jong Il's entire recounting of his life is ever since I was born, I was obsessed with translating the world into drawings, right? No wonder somebody, since they were born, he was literally born with the purpose to become good at art, right? And his progress was very sequential. By the way, I'm just thinking about what I should add here. I'm just trying to figure it out, okay? Because we want push. What could dictate push? Maybe we could just make large shapes, right? Maybe. Okay, maybe I could do something like this. Uh, Something like that, right? I'm thinking really hard again. Like I want to make it very clear. None of this is just me pulling it out of my ass. I'm actually thinking very, very hard. It's just extremely difficult to think, as I mentioned multiple times, right? And yeah, my pen's kind of going to shit. It was good, and then now it's not good, which is great. That's a fucking sentence, right? By the way, do you draw digitally as well? For real, for real. How do you beat art block? By having things to draw and drawing them over and over and over. Okay, that's why art wad. Again, I'm a huge shill for art wad. I'll always fucking shill them because they give you the platform, they give you the sequential step by step intro to drawing, then like fucking portraits, then figures, then environments, then intermediate portraits, figures, and environments, right? And now like wolves, like animals. They just keep going off. Okay, I'm telling you right now. Oh shit, I think I bumped the fucking tripod, but hopefully it didn't make a difference. Yeah, I'm telling you, you beat art block by just, it's like, okay, I personally beat art block by only focusing on the fundamentals because the fundamentals is guaranteed improvement, and I like the challenge of spatial reasoning, right? I love the challenge of spatial reasoning. Okay, I don't know what to push here, but here, should we put a pivot? That wouldn't make any sense. Okay, what's something that insinuates a press, like a press type movement? This is obviously the problem solving part, right? I'm telling you right now, my fundamentals are still very poor. Okay, and then we can do something like that, right? You might be wondering, how do you come up with all these angles and all that stuff? Sheer experimentation. If you go to my practicing, what is it? If you go to my beginner roadmap, right? Practicing fundamentals, Art Wad beginner roadmap. If you go to the fundamentals playlist and you go to like anywhere between part 40 to 60, I think, like the later parts, so like the last 20 parts of that playlist, right? You'll see that I spent 20 to 30 hours purely just practicing different angles, just constantly pushing myself when it comes to multiple rounding and single rounding, right? And then obviously I got feedback from the Artwad community Discord, and they gave me some really good advice. But let's see. Don't want to think about it. Don't want to talk about it. Sorry, just songs are stuck in my fucking head. See, managed to kind of make it work. Kind of make it work. There you go. And we can obviously multiple around this. Again, this pen is fucking pissing me off. But it is what it is. See, it was good and now it's not. Like what is this shit? It has all this ink, but it can't seem to bring that out for me. Right? Sorry, I forgot to answer. What's it called? I don't draw digitally. No, I'm my current life goal is pure excellent mastery slash yeah, just excellence, hope mastery in my lifetime of pen and ink drawing. Excellent draftsman, drawing from imagination. That is my goal. That is my goal because I have a manga. Like I plan to make the Animorphs fan manga. If anybody of you remember Animorphs, I plan to make the fan manga that looks like Berserk, Vagabond, Vinland Saga, One Punch Man, Fairy Tail, like the earlier Fairy Tail chapters, right? I plan to do that. That's my plan. I'm going to make one of the greatest, if not the greatest, manga fan adaptation of all time. That is my penultimate goal, and the goal is to do it as much from imagination as possible. Yeah. So no, it's not that I don't like digital. I might do digital for like the covers because I already have covers in my mind. Like that's an idea, right? Might do covers digitally, but at the same time, I think I'll later down the line when I get really good with values, probably like a few years from now, I will what the fuck am I trying to say? I will probably go into acrylic markers or some shit like that. Okay, this is like a whatever shape. So it doesn't get the pushing motion across, but I do feel as if we have a little bit of like it does look like a machine type shape, right? And it does look like it's articulated relatively well, right? This actually, if anything, this is kind of rotating like so, right? This is rotating like that, right? So that's not bad. Let's see. Cartoons or comics? I love comics, cartoons like SpongeBob, and books. Noise. What's books? The fuck? So maybe draw on that style. Try to take reference and recreate them. I just like reading your comments, I guess. Yeah, just expand your visual library memory or whatever it's called. Manga. I'm making an animation while watching you. I'm on the fighting scene. Very nice. Very nice. Hey Viggy, Bully P. Hey Viggy, love your videos. It's helping me with my form and perspective. I'm glad to hear it. I'm really glad to hear it. Right. I hope me constantly explaining that I'm thinking about the box, I'm thinking about the shapes inside the box, and blah 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 is reinforcing to you that oh, I'm on the right path. Like I just have to keep thinking about these things, to the most basic level and then try to hold as many of those in my mind while I'm drawing, right? I have not heard of Animorphs in a long time. There was supposed to be a movie. Yeah, well, 50 years from now, there will be the fan manga and bookshelves. Or I die, or I get copyrighted strike by Scholastic. Either way, that's my dream. That's my life goal. Literally the reason I'm literally on the path to be as Kim Jong-il like, as possible, to as excellent draftsman imagination as possible, is because I reread the series 2 years ago and I just saw it as a manga in my mind when I decided that I was going to turn it into that. So I literally have it's all in my mind. It's there. I just need to get the skills now. Simple as that, right? And obviously it'll change from what's in my mind because it's not always going to be 100%, but are you going to be live all night? Couple hours. Spent that 30 minutes, right? Probably for another hour and a half because yeah, I usually draw for 2 hours, right? Hour to 2 hours a day. Okay, what other shape do we want? We'll do it from the bottom, right? Because that's a difficult angle. So obviously we want to challenge ourselves, right? And what do we want to think of? What function do we want? I definitely want to turn. I want to pivot and I like doing pivots and I like doing yeah, I like doing pivots and I like doing hinges. So obviously maybe something that's like hinging like this. Hmm. It's the bottom. And obviously we want an interesting silhouette, right? So again, let's re-clarify for those of you wondering, what is he thinking about? How is he able to draw relatively complex shapes, seemingly out of nothing, right? First of all, it's not out of nothing. It's through sheer, it's through very specific like sequential steps when it comes to just first line, then the horizon line, right? You imagine. Fucking, I'm not going into it. You guys all know that it all comes down to perspective, right? Horizon line, vanishing points, the box, right? So that's what I'm thinking about. I don't even think about the vanishing points anymore because I just know intuitively that hey, right? If this, for example, if I'm doing something like this and then this line ends up converging a little bit, okay, I'm like, okay, so everything else is just gonna be converging, right? I know that intuitively now. But for the first 6 to 12 months, that took actual thinking and effort to make sure that they were converging relatively accurately. Fuck this pen. I'm fucking moving on. I'm just constantly juggling between these two piece of shit pens. God damn it. But yeah, you know. Okay, now this one works. But yeah, like doing this, just being able to be like, oh, okay, there is a bit of a connection. Oh, look, this is kind of, there you go. See, oh, now I know that's one vanishing point. That's another vanishing point. But what about something like this? Ooh, right? So lots of things can change. Actually, we can even make that even more intense, right? But this takes time, and like this type of thinking in general is very, very, very difficult. I already made a mistake here, actually, right? But I hope it proves a point that like perspective is not something that you don't think about, right? Like obviously now, I'm telling you right now, like literally right now, I'm not thinking, and even then, I'm able to roughly keep the perspective in line, right? But this is Kim Jong Il's not thinking, and more, like and 10 times more, right? So that doesn't. What does that tell you? Is he a god? No, he's just someone who fucking has a million times more experience, effort, intent than I do, right? And that's all it is. This isn't me discounting his abilities. This is me hopefully sobering and grounding his abilities, right? Because he himself, think about it, if the person you look up to, not me by the way, him, right? Or like people like him, if the people you look up to constantly keep telling you that you're able to achieve this, then I think it's our duty to believe them, which is why if you look at my 2-year beginner artist video or whatever, right? You'll see that, oh, like, okay, he's doing all these lines, but what drove him? What drove me is just to stop listening to my own brain. I don't know shit. Do I have the brain of someone who can draw like the people I want to? No? Then it's not my brain I listen to. I listen to their brains, right? Oh, they're all telling me different things. Okay, well, I know the fundamentals matter. And then we found out, ArtWad, again, being the fucking best platform that just says, like, these are the fundamentals. These are the consistent fundamentals across every single fucking domain in art, right? When it comes to form, line, and perspective, right? There you go. Now I know what to practice. Turn my brain off. Don't think about what to do. Think while doing, right? I'm going to keep shilling ArtWad. I'm telling you guys, right? Or at the very least, like Broken Draw is a free book, right? Like those principles, those drawing principles are not new, but we live in a beautiful time where they're just packaged in a way where we can access them. And the only thing we have to do is put in the work. Think about that. You don't have any other requirement. You don't have to seek the knowledge, right? or you're not unfortunate enough that if you're here right now, you don't have to seek no knowledge because I just told you. I just gave you two amazing platforms: Artwad, Broken Draw, right? The 25 books like drawing exercises, right? What is your duty? Your duty is just to put in the excess amount of effort and physical and cognitive effort, right? The repetitions, the hundreds and hundreds of repetitions to get it. And you have to throw your pride aside, right? If after 500 repetitions you're like, okay, I'm just starting to get this, that is called being grounded and being like, oh, okay, like I know where the peak is, and that's just one of the peaks, right? So, oh yeah, wonderful. My fucking camera is just back and forth zooming in. Okay, I'll just draw. I apologize. I do this a lot apparently when I talk. So let's just let's think about an interesting silhouette. I want maybe we want something elongated. So with that in mind, something elongated, we want to hinge and we want to pivot. So let's start with the pivot, right? On a hinge, we want to pivot. I already fucked up the hinge, but it's okay, right? And again, we're just trying to think about like the word interesting I really dislike in the context of art because every artist will say shit like interesting shapes, interesting silhouette, interesting gesture, interesting design. That means absolutely jack shit to me. Because I am average or below average. I am a beginner. I literally, that means nothing to me. You know, that actually means so little to me, it's hilarious. Because you're not telling me anything. All I hear is blah, 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 blah. You think I know more than I actually do. You know? And Antonio from Artwad, God bless his fucking soul, I love that man. Right? Slurp, slurp, and all that shit. He does that all the time. And he doesn't do it to be mean. He doesn't do it because he thinks that, like he's just trying to fucking and again, I'm talking about me because I'm an actual idiot. Like I'm a fucking moron. I do not understand things easily. I'm a slow learner. I'm a very, very slow learner, right? And again, I messed up the perspective. So now we changed it now. Originally, the perspective was like, so I want you to know this happens, right? Originally, this is the perspective I was thinking of, right? But now we know because of the minor axis has been changed. It's actually more like this, right? Well, that probably didn't. There you go. It's more like that, right? But I don't like that. I don't like the whole make it interesting sort of yeah shit that people say. What the fuck, for lack of a better word, right? For lack of a better anything apparently. But I don't like it because it just tells me that I have no answers. Like I personally, me, like it gives me no answers. You're just saying completely vague terminologies and expecting me to understand what you mean by that, right? And it's okay. Like these people are a lot more advanced. So we have to understand that they're never going to actually understand what it's like to be a beginner. Once they're past the beginner period, they're not going to know. Which is why I put that video out, which is why I try my absolute fucking best to remember what it's like to be a beginner, right? Because it's it's like it's one of those things where you don't realize how much cognitive effort a beginner is expending. You see these little contour manipulations, or sorry, contour indications I'm making, right? Just indicating the form of the cylindrical shape. You see that, right? That is extremely difficult. It's extremely difficult, all right? Even at this scale, it's actually pretty fucking hard, you know? Right now it isn't, but if you go back 8 months, it was. So that's the level we're talking about here when it comes to me, at least, right? So if advanced artists are unable to recognize that, hey, things that I find simple are actually not that simple, right? Then I cannot blame them that they don't realize that the words they're saying are actually more dangerous than they realize. But I think we can definitely agree that they need to be careful. Like they definitely need to be careful when it comes to choosing their words because again, art is a skill. It's a very difficult skill, right? So if you're saying shit like make it interesting, I need words. I need very clear words and directions that say here is the things that make things interesting when you practice these types of angles, right? When you practice these types of manipulations. You know, I had to go through extreme trial and error just to find out I had to go through extreme trial and error just to find out that interesting basically means experimentation with lines, curves, and plane changes right now, just right now, right? And what do I mean by that? Like, this is a boring box, right? This is a relatively more interesting box. Okay, what's happening here? We are experimenting with additions, subtractions, and plane changes. Or not even plane changes here yet. We're just experimenting with additions and subtractions. And now this box is also slightly, and also like the lengths of this, right? And this box is slightly more interesting, right? Slightly more interesting than the other boxes because now it's like, okay, we have plane changes. Maybe this was probably a fucking horrible example. Jesus Christ, I clearly did not make a very interesting box right here. Maybe it is slightly more interesting. I think hopefully you get my point. Is like when we work and but the thing is from this to this took me and most likely you if you're average 20 to 30 hours to just be like, oh, I can just experiment with multiple different plane changes, right? On one plane, on two planes, on planes like back and forth, right? That's just how it is. No, that's just how it is, right? Okay, so I wanted something that has a hinge, and I did want something that, let's see, right? Something like, there you go, something like that. And this will be whatever is hinging, I guess. Again, was I thinking here? No, I was not. But isn't that the beauty that like I've tried so hard to think that I'm able to at least create something like this, right? That's what I find beautiful. Not the fact that I'm creating something, but just the fact that I'm able to output the effort, which allows me to do something, right? LMAE says, to be fair, you aren't the first artist who said they hated the word interesting. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if I was, because it's a fucking piss off of a word. It's too generic, it's too vague, it offers no direction, and it makes you feel like a fucking retard, right? Like, oh, do I not know how to make interesting shapes? See, do you see how off the perspective is here? Huge mistake, right? But what am I gonna do? Absolutely nothing except live with it, right? Huge mistake. Let's see. Right? But it's okay. Mistakes are part of the process. Again, what is the mistake? Well, now I see it's clearly diverging, right? Because this side's bigger than that side, right? And that's fine. That's okay. All right? Because when these happen, you feel good. You can force yourself to feel good. And if you're wondering why the fuck should I feel good when I make a mistake like this, it's simple, dumbass. It's because your brain learns faster when you recognize mistakes and you feel good about mistakes. I shouldn't have done that. Now we know. That's another mistake, right? That was nice and readable. Now I added a little fucking cylinder there. It's not readable anymore. But might as well commit and add the cylinders here as well. And again, another mistake that I'll feel good about. So, yeah, I guess that's just what I was trying to say. I don't fucking know, bro. Do I ever say anything of importance? Don't answer that. Unless it's a resounding yes, you are a god, right? And now here, I almost made another mistake, but I fixed it because I realized, because again, look, I'm not thinking as hard as I could, right? I'm really losing the box. How did I make this mistake? Because I completely lost the box. I completely lost the perspective that I was in, right? And that's gonna happen even 5 years from now at a much higher level. But simply, it won't be as drastic as this. Maybe it'll be something like that. If you can't see that, I can barely see it, right? But if you can't see that this is going that way and that's going slightly this way, right? Well, that's something we can train our eye on, right? But yeah, like these are all mistakes. And again, like it's misaligned here. There's like a million things I've done that simply, if we're gonna talk about like, oh, if we're gonna focus on mistakes, they're all just horrible, right? This is oh God, like you're fucking. This is what our teachers and our parents and everybody we know told us to fucking kill ourselves over because it's a mistake. That's not how it works. And it should never be how it works. And it's okay because it's not our fault that this is what people taught us, right? We can never blame anybody. Well, we can never blame ourselves. There's zero accountability for sure to be had. But again, I'm trying to recalibrate right now and get the box back, right? Maybe try to make the shapes more readable. This is a pretty poor, decent silhouette, but pretty poor design, right? Like pretty poor functionality. So I'm trying to think. If I have a hinge here, and then we have a pivot. Oh, okay, I think I know what to do. Actually, I think I have a decent idea of what to do. This is purely just like a design decision, right? Okay, and let's see, because that's that. Now, this is a difficult part right here, where I have to think about, okay, well, how do I, because I'm literally trying to see, okay, this is right there, that should be up there, and then see, like proportion is something I really struggle with, right? Which is why I'm really excited for the faces, like the portraits, because it's gonna help me with a lot with that. This wasn't so bad. This was okay. This just looks like a dick. I just made a fucking penis. Right. This is life size, by the way. Yeah, that's pretty life size. Hey, is your brush pen tip plastic or bristles? It's bristles, right? It's yeah, it's just like tiny ass bristles. I'm fucking up my pen for you. You better be grateful. Yeah, it's bristles. And my fingers. Look at this. I'm gonna get lead poisoning. But but yeah, I just ended up making a giant dick without even meaning to. I made two dicks. This is a dick, and I'm gonna make an extra fucking large balls over here. But it's what it is. Okay. Now this is where we're just gonna try to make the silhouette up. See, we were converging that a little bit, but it can be fixed. Let's see, we'll do something like this. Don't worry, the next one will be much less cock-like. I promise you that. All right. Uh, yep, it looks like a dick. Yes, yes. I want you to draw a spaceship. I can try. I can try. Right. We'll see what we can do. Uh, See again, like you'll see that my shapes are actually they're all the fucking same. I can't think of anything unique, but that's why we keep trying, right? Today, I can objectively say right now, not overall, but right now we can objectively say that for me, I should stop saying we because I don't know how the fuck anybody else is feeling, but for me, this is a pretty mediocre drawing session right now. Not because it's bad, not because I feel bad, but just objectively, I'm not putting nowhere near as much effort as I could be, just as a fact, right? I'm just not putting as much effort as I could be, and that is an opportunity for me to change that, right? It's an opportunity to change that. Let's see. So we want it like that, right? So right now what I'm doing is we're gonna take back our country by putting in as much effort as we can. Now that was a mistake. That right there should have been like this actually. But that was just me doing a subtraction. That was me doing a subtraction and I failed, which is good. Again, I failed, and that's good, right? Never, and like I'm telling you right now, I feel nothing when I fail, apart from happiness, right? I literally feel nothing but sheer joy, ecstasy. What did Arnold say? The pump is like coming, right? Same shit. Basically, jism on the floor right now every time I fail, right? Which is why my videos only last an hour, because I can only last an hour. But let's see. There you go. Something like that, and it's like attached, right? Let's see. Let's see. Okay. I'm trying to think. There's like a sliding mechanism here, maybe. Will it make sense? Probably not, right? Because it is like I'm not thinking as much as I should, clearly. But we'll leave that. See, like that's a huge, huge, huge blunder, as they say. But it's okay. At this point, clearly, you guys can probably tell I'm ready to move on to the next one. Whatever. This was a huge mistake. I rate this a fucking 3 out of 10, and I rate this 2 out of 10. Right? But we're moving on to the next one. We'll do a spaceship. But I don't know. I don't know what a spaceship looks like, so we'll have to see. Let's see. It looks like the front of a boat. Maybe. That actually could be it. Right? And again, like we could always just, for added detail, just be like, oh, let's just, there you go. Right? Do something like this. Right? And that's one of the things, the quote unquote tricks I've learned. It's like if you ever want to actually give the illusion of detail, right? And this is coming from someone who has a problem with over detailing. Please take that into account, right? Like I have a problem with over detailing, right? So this is not something I would encourage everybody to constantly do, really, like to be honest. But if you want to give the illusion of detail, what I found works really well is just reinforcing the shape that you're drawing, right? So let's just say it's an ellipse. You can draw another ellipse inside of it, and then possibly like cutouts and stuff, right? Like cutouts. Now, does this make sense? No, because like what is this resting on now? None of these are resting on anything. What I should have done is probably added a hinge at the bottom here or some sort of platform. But we're committed, and now we just need to make sure that it is even, right? In perspective, which we've already fucked up a little bit. But as much as we can do, we just got to make sure it's even, you know? There you go. Something like that, right? But remember, the goal right now isn't aesthetic shape, blah, blah, blah. The goal is functionality. And right now, I failed all of that. Really, like over here, I really did fail all of that. But now I'm going to take this as a learning lesson, and we're going to go and move forward and try again, right? Let's see. Apart from Kim Jong-gi and Peter Hans, I was motivated to try brush pen by your art. So I ordered Pentel brush pen in turquoise blue because I got it for half the price for black version. Nice. Yeah, they've been selling that shit. Ahmed, Ahmed, hello Ahmed, hello, 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 mate. Looks like a railgun. Ahmed's my friend. Everybody docks him. 5 stars. Thank you. Looks like a front of a boat. I appreciate that. Right. There's a quote. No, where are the details? Exactly. Like I was telling my friend this, right? Maybe it's a good thing that I have a tendency to over detail. That skill I'm building, will myself, right, to restrain my need, right, my proclivity, just this urge to add things constantly. So I'm building this, allowing things to breathe, and of course, design functions, right, like really think about big shapes. At the end of the day, we've all got to learn that no matter whether we over detail or under detail, but it's not a bad place to be in to be like, okay, I'm just gonna not touch it. Versus if you don't know where to put detail or like you don't really, you have, I feel as if maybe that's more of a difficult struggle. Is like, where do I even put things? But for me, it's not where do I put things, it's where do I let things breathe? Because I can add a million things here, I can keep adding, but then it's just gonna look like cluttered garbage, right? So let's see. Yeah, I'm very very happy to hear that I inspired you to use brush pen. Again, I'm particularly using this like the super thin brush pen purely from a skill acquisition point of view, right? For me, again, it's like 1 + 1 = 2. Kim Jong-il uses this pen. Why does he use this pen? Brush pen. Okay, I look online. Brush pen is actually very, very good for teaching you how to control your pressure sensitivity. And then I look more at Peter Han, Kim Jong-il, Jae Kwang Park, Sori Kim, right? Many other artists who use brush pen. And I'm like, oh, it also teaches you really, really good line control and line flexibility, thin to thick, thick to thin, thin, thick, thin. Things I have not even practiced, right? Like my lines, like if I were to I have zero line weight, right? These are all very much the same lines. I have zero line weight, zero line economy, zero understanding of that. That will come with time when I focus intentionally on it. Right now, I'm not focusing intentionally on that, right? So that's another thing to note. Yeah, but whenever you are in your learning journey, do not expect yourself to have the ability of a thing you have not practiced for at least 20 to 30 hours intentionally. It's just a fact, right? I'm not good at this. Why aren't you good at this? Have you practiced it? Have you put in 500 repetitions intentionally, right? Have you tried to get better and better? Have you noticed what worked and what didn't? Have you looked at artists who also have the thing that you want and tried to emulate them? Have you done any of these things? If the answer for even like half of them is no, then why are you surprised? Right. And I'm not talking to just like whoever's listening or the general you. I'm talking to myself as well. Right. Why am I surprised this looks like ass? Because I haven't put enough repetitions into really thinking about form, function, silhouette, design, perspective, manipulated shapes inside perspective, and speaking while doing all of this enough. It's just a fact. Right. I have a lifetime to get better. And that is a very gentle reality, right? It's the fact that we have our lives, until we don't and we die, but then it won't matter anyways, right? Let's see, Mr. Kurokstro, why you stop talking about art? I'm drawing. Denji from Chainsaw Man. Nice. Oh, nice. Yeah, Denji. Hold up, just give me a second. I'm turning off my fucking radiator. It's burning in here now. Pain, pain. But I guess, I mean, for anybody watching or listening, I hope this is enjoyable, right? Hopefully there's something coming out of it, whether it be entertainment, background noise, retention for me. the good old audience metrics. Yeah, make sure to stay hydrated, folks. But, okay, while I did say I would draw a spaceship, I'm also a lying piece of shit, and I want to focus on function. So I apologize, but not really. I want to keep working on this. These shapes, these silhouettes. I feel as if I have a lot to practice there. So I will. I mean, I can try doing a silhouette. I can try doing a spaceship type silhouette. I can definitely try that actually. Um, I don't think there's anything wrong with trying that at all, right? So we'll do that. We'll do that. I'm not drawing a spaceship, but I will try to think about a spaceship type silhouette. I think that I think that will please both of us, right? Because I will still be able to think about function, and you giving me a purpose with the silhouette, which allows me to not think too much about the silhouette, right? Let's see. Okay, that's the box, right? So what box am I thinking of? I'm thinking about this box, right? And again, we have the ability to build this skill. I want to be very clear. This is a skill, and we all have the ability to build it, right? If this seems like a marvel to you now, I don't know for who it would seem like a marvel, but let's just say there is a subset of people out there who are watching and who think, wow, this is crazy, right? Maybe. It's hard for me to look at my own work objectively because I just think it's all mid and I could always get better. But if there is a subset who are thinking, I wish I could do something like that, the answer is you can. You just got to put the work in. And if you don't want to do something like this, then I guess be entertained, right? But let's see. Okay, well, we can just do something like this for the time being, right? This is basically a cone, which is fine. And then we have something like this. Okay, that ellipse is completely off. But I wonder if I can make it look like a pivot. If this fucking pen would work! Okay, that's fine. Right. Let's see. Bruh, I'm actually gonna fucking... I've been very angry as of late, as you guys can tell. I say things like bruh and damn, and I'm really annoyed in that exact tone. right? So we're gonna keep this simple, but like for the time being, because I'm gonna think about the silhouette again. Okay, so clearly I've added some sort of pivot function here. Now again, we have to think about spacing, right? How big do I want the spacing? And again, I'm telling you right now, the skill to put an ellipse behind an object and only partially of the ellipse is something I still struggle with because it's extremely difficult, right? And again, I'm still trying to visualize that box. So, and again, in proportion as well. Let's not forget in proportion, right? What are these dots I'm making? These dots I'm making are basically what I'm trying to remind myself of what it should be like. And I've already messed up, but it's okay because we're just going to go with it, right? And I messed up again, but it's okay because we're just going to go with it, right? Now, we have options here. We do have options, right? We can, again, as always, just create a little bit of rounding to make it seem intentional. But I'm telling you right now, the skill to put an ellipse behind something else is very difficult. Very, very, very difficult. Accurately as well, right? And I said it would be like a plane-like shape, but I'm gonna be completely honest, this probably won't look like a plane by the end of it, right? Because it's already not looking like a plane. But your idea, your silhouette that you gave me was very helpful because it helped made me think of the things I could do in conjunction to just the drawing itself, right? So for that, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Uh, let's do something like that. But let's see. Hmm. And then I'm still trying to keep let's not forget, I'm always trying to keep the box in mind, right? Always trying to keep the box in mind. Now I finally can, this pen is deciding to not be a piece of shit. Pentel, please sponsor me. This this pen is deciding not to be a piece of shit, so I could actually darken those areas. Drawing is hard in some way because what we imagine in our minds is always not projected by our hands onto the paper. Well, that is the skill. The skill is the communication and the visualization and the ability we build to make like all of those works in a synergizing manner, right? Like that is the skill. So you're absolutely right. Drawing is never easy. It just becomes a lot more manageable. But I refuse for it to be easy anyways, at least on my end. So I've accepted that as just a reality. I'm just a precursor to life. Drawing is not easy, right? See? So again, thank you for your wonderful, wonderful suggestion because this is not a plane, but I feel like if I personally feel like I'm pushing the silhouette quite a bit, and it makes me happy. There you go. And on top of that, the YouTube algorithm has kept me in tutorial hell. Yeah, get off that shit, bro. I'm telling you, just go to fucking Art One. Like, I don't know what else to say. I mean, they just have it all set out for you. You just have one job, do the fucking work, and do a lot more than they require of you. I'm telling you right now. Like, they're basically, and I don't blame them. Again, I don't blame them, but Artwad, like, as a business, they have to pertain to beginners. And what do beginners like to do? Say it with me. Bitch about learning, right? So again, their grind nodes are not really grind nodes in the sense that they're like do 10 reps or do 15 reps of this thing. You should look at that and just add a zero next to it, right? Because it's all there. Everything you need to learn is there. I'm telling you right now, right? So let's see. Let's see what I'm gonna do here. This is what I'm really gonna think, right? Like we're really gonna try to think about this because we've added a hinge, and for design purposes, we can even do something like this, right? Where it's actually like a metal sheet almost attached to that side. And where do I want to take this? I'm telling you right now, what I'm about to try to think about is going to kill my fucking brain because I have no idea where I want to go with this, but we can try. Because if I just, okay, if I do something like that, and then I follow the contour here, and then I just bring this back, right? Still think about the box, still trying to think about the box. It's killing my brain because I can't look at the entire thing, but I still have to think about the box, right? So let it be known, this is killing my brain, right? What you're seeing is not easy. What I'm trying to achieve is not easy. And yet here we are trying to achieve it, right? And now we're gonna add some form manipulation. But to what degree, I don't know. Thing is, after so many YouTube videos, I don't know where do I start from. Cubes, perspectives, if I do one, I do it for some time, then I do not know where to go. Bro, I keep telling you, I'm telling you. Go to Artwad, go to their intro to drawing roadmap, right? And that's it. You're set. It's just after that, like I'm not even done their intro to drawing roadmap. I've only done the first like quarter. But because I drilled so much of their first quarter, this is what I'm able to achieve. Please, I want to put that into perspective. Okay, finishing Artwad is gonna take me like 20. I don't know, maybe 10 years, because I'm gonna get the better you get, the faster you get, the more capable, right? So maybe not fucking 20, but maybe like probably 10 years, right? But it's it's just the way. This is the way, right? Like it's all set up there. Just trying to think, because what do I want the function of this to be, right? Because this was supposed to be a pivot. I don't know if it's really looking like a pivot yet. Um, Actually, maybe it will if I do something like this. Yeah, maybe I can make it look like a pivot, like a really, really intense pivot. If I do something like this, right? There you go. And we'll have it like come back a little. Maybe fuck it. We'll just have it go normally, right? 12 viewers. Oh, hell yeah. Been a while. What up? 3T09. Fuck, man. I don't remember you. I'm sorry. What's up? Yeah, are you a fan? Are you a watcher? What's up? How's it going? Right? Everybody who's here, how'd you guys discover me? I'm genuinely curious, right? Because I know that my video probably garnered a lot of attention, you know, probably, but let's see. I'm not gonna touch these just yet, 'cause apart from doing this, because I've thought of a new purpose for them. This is the beauty. Like when you know how to multiple round, you realize, oh shit, you can just add multiple rounding to things that initially you didn't really think about adding multiple rounding to, right? So same with here. Like I can just, and yes, I do acknowledge it's a bit convoluted here because obviously, if I wasn't thinking ahead, changes that I make will not be the most consistent changes, right? This is Prada. I don't know. I do remember Prada. I don't remember your full username, but what's up? Holy shit, making art is hard as fuck, but God, how I love it. Exactly. I mean, that's the thing, right? We can train ourselves to simply love the effort. I'm telling you right now, like I think all of these are garbage. Like I literally don't care about any of them, but I'm really, really grateful for the fact that I put in a lot of effort into them. That's all I care about is the effort, right? And you guys are allowed to have your own way that you feel about art, but if there's one thing I can constantly keep, like literally keep trying to drill is just as long as you're enjoying the effort you're putting in, you're winning in life because you're never gonna stop. Think about it. If you enjoy the effort and you associate good feelings with making mistakes, do you see yourself stopping? And I made a mistake. I shouldn't have put that line there. I made a huge mistake now, which we have to figure out, right? I found your stream randomly today. I like to hop into random art streams and say hi. Oh, nice. You just randomly found me? Appreciate that. How's it going? How's it going? Right? Watch me become great. You will 100% this name Viggy will be a staple. Uh Give it 5, 10 years? Yeah, 5, 10 years. This is a mistake, but here's how we're gonna work around it. Let's see. We'll do something like this. And right now I'm just like randomly ideating. But yeah, I'm telling you, like I'm sure anybody who's watching me is well aware that this channel is gonna be fucking huge. It's just a fact. I mean, yeah, it's just a fact. It's a fact told by one extremely cocky individual, me. Okay, now we gotta obviously line these up. Okay, what's going on here? 'Cause that doesn't really make much sense. We could do something like this, right? Now this obviously like it's kind of losing its understanding, but I'm still gonna try to make it work because it's the only way that we can like if we don't try to make it work, then it's not ever gonna work. But if we do attempt to make sense out of it, maybe there will be some sense to be had, right? There you go. Maybe something like that. Who fucking knows? It doesn't really make much sense. All right. I remember one of Artwad's quotes, do one thing for a long time until your brain absorbs it. That's exactly like, it's because of people like Antonio and a bunch of others basically saying just keep doing it until you understand it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take that to the absolute extreme. And not only am I going to keep doing it, I'm going to fucking push the limits of this thing until I feel as if I can't push it anymore, right? Purely in terms of creativity, spatial reasoning, like really, really complex shapes. That's why I can do something like this now. But Kuro X Trio says, all right, I'm gonna hop off. Good luck with your streaming, everyone. Oh yeah, yes, please have a wonderful night. I hope you drew along. I think you did draw along, so I'm glad to hear that. Right, Chainsaw Man, Chainsaw Man. I can't fucking speak. Chainsaw Man Denji. Arigato gozaimasu. Toyota, Honda, Mitsubishi. Indeed. Okay, so we're gonna do something like right, the like little cubes like that or cylinders like that. Not fucking cubes. What the fuck am I saying? Always add to yeah, they always add to make it look more mechanical, right? I think it is an interesting silhouette, but there's obviously a lot of things that are wrong with it. Like first of all, this is not articulated very well. Over here, this doesn't make sense. It's too crowded. I use too many shapes and lines. We can try, I think, right now, maybe to and again, my lines weren't there that good there either, so I just see like this. If we used kind of contour form indications essentially, right? To make them kind of blend together or be in the background because everything's just lines right now, which is okay, but we obviously want to retain the perspective, right? If we have this, and again, we're consistently trying to make it look like this is a pivot. So the only reason I opened this up is because I personally like doing the thing where it's like, hey, look, there's still a lot more of this thing, right? So it's like, okay, it's continuing, right? What the fuck, Ahmed? He said he drew Denji, and Denji is a wild character, and bro chases big goals. I'm not caught up with the new part two of Chainsaw Man, so I actually don't know what his goals are. But end of part one was really cool. Fuck off, Ahmed. What the fuck is he? Hydraulic drill, precision laser. Fuck off. Can somebody ban Ahmed? That's my friend, which is why I'm requesting we ban him. He fucking pisses me off by being alive. But okay. See, we're noodling right now. We're not thinking about form or function, so we need to go back to it. Okay, so I think that's accurate. And here, like, see, this is what I mean by I can add all the detail I want. Because look, I can just add an outline. And it pisses me off that I can add an outline, I'm not gonna lie, because I don't, it's a habit, and we're all trying to break habits that we find to be bad. Maybe some of you will look at this and be like, that looks fine to me. Right? Maybe some of you will be like, that looks shit to me. And then maybe some of you will be like, I should really like, subscribe, and watch every single one of his videos. There are a myriad of things you could be thinking. And every single one of them is what I'm thinking. Now that was probably a poor choice because now that just really looks like some blacked out, scratched out bullshit. But we're gonna keep going, try to see this to the end, right? Let's see. And yes, it is getting larger because my cylinders are pretty meh, right? Let's see. I do want to, I have a relative idea, and we're gonna see if it's gonna make sense or not, right? I'm actually really happy that people actually joined the stream even though it's so late, right? I know, maybe I'm not the most entertaining, right? But I am the most handsome, so you win some, you lose some, and stains will be left on the wall. Let's see. Oh, see, we're losing perspective here. Easily. You see how easily that can happen? This is what I mean. Like these are very, very, very difficult skills to constantly keep in mind, right? And that's why we have to be aware of them. Now here I can just make this darker. I can try to make it darker because obviously it is overlapping. Okay, that's not bad. I've been drawing this whole time and didn't really see what you were doing. And damn, that looks good. Hey, thank you, Roxanne. King Skull, it's looking like a drill machine. Yeah, it's looking like something, right? And again, like this is just sheer ideation and vaguely recalling what I've seen, right? Like okay, go on Pinterest and just type hard surface design, mechanical object, hinges. Like if you just type anything like that, you'll see that, oh, kind of shit has these types of elements, which is why I'm really trying to think about function, right? Because function is what's going to help me a lot when it comes to these elements. So that's just what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to make sense of it all and create my own machines. Like at the end of the day, no, I don't really give a shit about being the best hard surface designer. But why am I going so off on hard surface, right? And again, when I'm doing my portrait practice, because I'll be starting my actual regular practice again, the videos you see, right? Why am I going to be drawing a Loomis head and then next to it like a fucking helmet, right? Because I just want to be a god at spatial reasoning. And it is, I personally think it's very draw mechanical of your fucking mind, right? Because you have to really, really, really understand form, function, design, machinery, and crux of it all, spatial reasoning, right? So that's just the way I see it. Okay, now we got to do something here. Okay, now here is where the design I had in mind, it's either gonna make it or break it, right? So I have to be thinking about, oh, my stream's lagging apparently. Spatial reasoning, right? So that's just the way I see it. Okay, now we gotta do something. God, my voice is grating to the ear. Well, look at that. The stream lagging because like fucking 5 people just left. How could you? Just because I don't have the best internet. I actually do have pretty good internet. I don't even know why it's lagging. But whatever, bro. When I'm fucking balling in YouTube money 50 years from now, we'll figure it out then. Okay, so now here's like an extreme problem solving thing I'm gonna try to go through, right? Which is I have to make this make sense. Now, I'm gonna try something which may work and may not work. But I'm gonna try it either way. Right? Because that, as you can see now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to connect these two, right? And that's why I was leaving them open. Am I late? No, you're not late, QTE. I'm still gonna be drawing for another hour, roughly. You're not late at all. Thanks for joining in, as always, right? I'm just trying to figure out what I can make, and I think this is a decent silhouette. We can acknowledge that this is muddied. We can acknowledge that there's too much happening here because it's big, medium, small, right? Right now, this is big. This is relatively medium. These are medium, but the small, it's too much. There's too much happening here. It doesn't really make much sense. And this is my vague understanding. I really want to make it very clear. This is my vague understanding, right? With all the fucking okay, that's off perspective. But we could probably multiple around that to make it on perspective, right? Wait, hold up. There you go. Wait, we can literally just make it intentional. See, this is the power, guys. This is the power of being able to just also bullshit because you understand form and because you understand that hey, like things can literally just be rounded. That kind of looks better now. Remind me of greebling, the mecha greebling concepts. I don't know what that is, Ahmed. You'll have to be much more specific than that, you tard. But see, something like this. Again, like these little circles, right? These are basically nuts and bolts. We can assume. Kind of looks interesting. But again, what is the shape that we are going for, right? Because like this shape in and of itself is also really awkward. And I've realized that now. Like this shape is really, really awkward. So maybe just okay. It's like to make everything interconnected, right? So these are connected, and I wanted to do something, but I don't know if I can do it now. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud here, guys. Basically, what I wanted to do is I wanted to add another cylinder-like shape here and somehow connect it to this, but I don't know how it can be done anymore. Unless, actually, yeah, unless here we do a cutout like this, right? We don't want any awkward tangents. Not that I know what a fucking tangent is, but we don't want that, right? We don't want any awkward tangents. We okay. I just added a cutout there for shits. It doesn't really mean anything. That's why I'm not a good designer. Yet. Hashtag Carol Dwelk. Dwelk? Dweck. Carol Dwelk? What the fuck? Power of yet. At this point, you guys should know I'm just obsessed with self-improvement. Like, I think it should be pretty fucking obvious that I'm just obsessed with trying to be better to the best of my ability. Because that's all I can control is my ability. Which, okay. So we have that. I think that looks relatively interesting, right? And then we can always add little square cutouts. What do they mean? That's just detailing. That's just detailing. That's something I saw in some hard surface examples on Pinterest. Some of them would have tutorials. On ArtWad Discord, they actually sent this. Fuck, I forgot the guy's name. If I remember the guy's Twitter, I'm gonna do that right now, actually. I have it right here. Everybody search up Ben, what's his name? Ben Bolton. Search up Ben Bolton on Twitter. Okay? He will have extremely good infographics on how to approach hard surface design. I'm not following many of them at all. So for the next one, I'll actually practice that, right? Because I'm like, that's purely just design. That's not really function at all. And that's another thing I've noticed hard surface designers do is they go back and forth between form and function, right? Let's see. So again, don't forget we're still thinking about the box, by the way. Like, never ever forget we're still thinking about the box. But I want to try something unique. I actually want to try something unique. Now, again, because I'm not a good designer, and because I'm still trying to understand, like actually putting things together, this is not going to look that good, right? It needs a third arm that's hidden behind the body. I don't know what the fuck you're on about. Hey, I don't know your name, but when and why did you start drawing? Well, my name is Viggy, so that's my channel name, right? It's my nickname as well, so kind of worked out. I started drawing at 25 years old, November 1st, 2022. Okay? I started practicing only fundamentals. If you look at the beginner drawing 2 years video that I have on my channel, right, that's basically it. That is what I did for the first 2 years. Everything on my channel is the third year and onwards. So it's all cataloged. Everything is basically cataloged at this point, right? And I started drawing because I wanted to draw ever since I was little. I maybe drew like 20, 30 drawings ever since I was a kid. Think about it. Over the course of 25 years, I drew maybe 20 times, 30 times max, right? And I'm in design, right? I'm in UX design. When I got pretty decently proficient at UX design, it made me realize, hey, if I can learn this, I can learn other things. So that made me essentially rekindle my care, my love. Not that I had a love, but my want to be good at art, right? And that's where we are now. That's where we are now. And now the penultimate goal the goal is the Animorphs manga. Okay, guys, we all know I fucked it up at the end here, but not bad, right? Not bad at all. I mean, it looks relatively complex. If I understood values, I'd obviously be able to make things stand out more or less. But oh, I didn't center it either. There you go. We're gonna leave this as it is. I'm not even gonna try to bother making it look better because my mind is done with this. I've moved on internally, and I feel like I did an okay job. I do feel like I did an okay job. I love I said I'm gonna move on from it, but I'm still adding shit. That's the Viggy way. There you go. Are you happy, individual who asked me to do a spaceship? This is spaceship-like, I guess. It's cool though. It's not bad. Um, I do wish like I did more here, right? I wish I thought more about that. But overall, I did put a decent amount of effort, like a solid 6 out of 10 effort on that. Maybe a 6.5, right? So we will practice that fucking, yeah, again, Ben Bolton, BenBolton. Okay, Ben Bolton on Twitter. Go to him. Please go to him. He will show you really good infographics on how to approach design. It's basically primary, tertiary, secondary, tertiary. Primary being the main shape, box, cylinder, whatever. Secondary being all the cutouts, additions, little like detailing you add, and then tertiary just being even the smaller details and like little fucking line work and all that stuff you add. Right. But I hope that answers your question, King Skull. I've obviously answered this a million times now at this point, but I don't mind. I will never mind um, explaining myself, especially when it comes to the art process or like why I want to draw specifically, because I know that was a mistake. I know many people are curious as to who the fuck this guy is. Why is he talking bear shit? Why is he not like the other art YouTubers? Why isn't he telling me I'm amazing? It's because you're not amazing. You have a lot to work on, as do I. Right? None of us are amazing. Right? The only thing we're amazing for, in my opinion, is continuing. But everybody can continue. So then we need more reasons as to why we're amazing. And that can be found if you like and subscribe. I'm a genius, bro. All these product placements, nobody can even tell. For my part, I started drawing in my 19 years old in 2023. Initially, I drew because I wanted to make art, but I failed miserably at it, and now I have new motivation. Now I draw because I want to see, because I like to, and I want to draw like manga artists in 3D, like make art for fun as well. Good goal, good goal. Again, I failed miserably at it too, but this is the shift, right? If you tried to draw and if you came out of it being like I failed, therefore I am not an artist, we, me, you, everyone had the wrong mentality. Okay? Line is shit, therefore I am shit, right? Art is shit, therefore I am shit. That's what many of us thought in the beginning. But the reframe is line is shit, art is shit, blank is shit. Therefore, how can blank get better, right? Therefore, what sort of effort do I need to put in for blank to get better, right? That is what needs to be done in terms of like thinking about art. I'm just trying to think right now. Speaking of, okay, let's try something like this. Will it work? We're about to find out, right? There you go. And like, does this really have any function? I guess for the time being, not really, right? But I'm just trying to figure something out. Okay. This can definitely have an interesting silhouette, I'd like to think, right? Something like this. Oh, that's another mistake. See, what am I doing right now? It's just cutting out and cutting in, while obviously trying to keep that box in my mind as much as possible. And it's very likely that I've actually already lost the box because my brain is really struggling right now, right? If you're wondering where is the cutting in, here. You see how this, because before it was implied, now I'm going to make it very explicit, right? That's the cutting in. Let's see. What else? What else can we do? Big shapes, right? Big shapes. So again, what is the box? The box is this, right? That's the box, right? Why does that look like that? Because that's the ellipse, right? That's the ellipse I put in. I mean, it's a very half-assed showcase, but I guess hopefully that makes sense to you, right? Why is that the ellipse? Because there you go. We cover the ellipse in that. This is the minor axis, right? If you can't see that, then the beautiful thing is you have hundreds of repetitions to put sheer effort in to get to understand that, okay? Because you're capable of that, all right? Roxanne says, okay, Biggie, time to hop off. Have fun and keep it off. Also, stream more often. I mean, I was this past week, but somebody didn't show up. And now after this, I'm back to once a week. But yeah, thanks for coming. And where's my fucking tattoo? I'm kidding. If you don't want to do it, it's fine. Just before you're like, oh, fuck, he called me out. No, I genuinely, like, I don't have an opinion on that. I'm just glad that you didn't abandon me. You haven't forsaken me. But she's never pulling up again. Yeah, have fun. Enjoy your night, everybody. Right. I know I streamed late today, but right now the goal isn't to do anything impressive. It's just to really think. So again, I'm in extreme discomfort right now. What manipulations can be done, right? I'm obviously trying to think I'm trying to think about trying to keep it simple, right? Again, Ben Bolton has really, really good infographics, right? And there's quite a few things that can be done. Okay. We can just start with this. We can just do this. Actually, fuck it, make it a bit longer. Because that's experimentation, right? Making something a bit longer, making it shorter. We won't really know. That's the thing. Like, it's only through sheer experimentation that we can actually figure that out. There you go, something like that, right? Same thing here. No, that's a bit too short. There you go. What else? What am I doing? I'm adding an addition. I actually struggle with this type of addition specifically, like quite a bit actually, which is why I'm even trying it out. What's working here? There you go. See, I fucked up. That's what it was. Like this one was nice and aligned and tight with that line. This one wasn't. But it's a mistake I have to live with now. Right? It's just a mistake I have to live with now. And we can actually that probably was a mistake as well. But we'll actually then we'll do this. We'll just make that part of it so it's going that way. Because that is actually this line actually that is correct. Should be going that way. Hmm. I do think there's a lot incorrect that's happening here, but again, I'm just thinking, right? I'm just constantly thinking about the box and how things intersect and make sense. Let's see. And the reason, I guess, my designs, you could say, quote unquote, look different every time, even though this was a complete fuck up as well, is the fact that I'm always just thinking about, like, okay, like in this plane, this line, will I make it this long? Do I want to add a diagonal? I'm always thinking about diagonals, ellipses, and like if I can do a half ellipse, a quarter ellipse. And this is not how I started in the beginning. In the beginning, it was, can I just do this and just add an ellipse to a box, right? Can I add multiple ellipses to a box that are centered? Can I add can I add four ellipses that are, in the box itself, but separate? That is really difficult. I know I'm doing it super small, but imagine them being basically three times larger, right? Lol, no, no, I do want to commission you, but money's tight right now. Bro, don't worry about it. Okay, I'm fucking broke as shit. I'm literally on government benefits. Okay, there will never be any pressure from my end. Okay, I want to make that very clear because at the end of the day, it's actually crazy to me that I have fans, right? I know I talk all that shit about give me money, blah, 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 but I'm really, really happy that at least to some people, the artwork, less so the artwork, but just the effort. Yeah, again, the effort that I'm putting in and just the message I'm sending, which is just anybody can draw. I'm happy it's resonating with some of you. Okay, and I want it to my goal is that millions, right? I want this channel to have millions of followers, right? And I'm hoping people it will get there because of sheer effort. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is the fact that I have fans is already insane to me. Nobody's obligated to do anything, okay? Apart from give me money. But you, Roxanne, you're an exception. Wait till you get that paycheck and blow it all on my on a fucking on some scribbles from me. No, but anyways, no, completely no problem at all, right? Genuinely no problem. I think the perspective is actually a bit off here, but again, like maybe this is like a grill mark, right? Little speaker grills. Literally, like, yeah, no problem at all. But you will design my first ever tattoo. I've made up my mind. Oh, that's very kind of you. That's very kind of you, right? No, that's genuinely, that's very nice of you. I appreciate it. Again, here, like, you might be thinking, what the fuck is he thinking of? Well, I just thought I could multiple round it, and now it seems like I made a mistake. But now to sort of capitalize on my mistake, I'm just going to do something like this, maybe an angle in perspective, hopefully. That's relatively in perspective. Right, good night, bye. Yeah, have a good night. Have a good night. Have a wonderful night. Right. And again, I'm really trying to think about that perspective. Today, I can, again, I have no problem being completely honest. Today, I barely saw the perspective. I'm telling you guys right now, I barely saw the perspective. Like, vast majority of the time, I barely saw it. Right? And you can probably tell that it's actually all over the place. I just took in this is extremely off. Yeah, holy shit, I completely lost the box. Guys, look at that. Look at that. Now this is following the new box. So, yeah, I completely lost the perspective. It's incredible how I completely lost the perspective. But maybe we can fix it by doing that. So I want you to know that this happens. This happens and this will continue to happen. Now, am I gonna give up on this? Not really, but this is a huge mistake on my end, right? I didn't see the box at all, and I wasn't keeping in my mind because I'm also building the skill of talking while drawing, right? Talking while drawing, while thinking about the perspective, while explaining myself, and while trying to think about the design, the silhouette, the shape, blah blah blah. I hope the point is clear, is that these mistakes can happen at any point to anyone, despite their skill level, and it happened to me. Not that I'm the fucking like goddamn paragon of skill or whatever, but I know some of you do find my skill to be relatively impressive. Like so, but I want it to be very clear that when I'm not thinking, it is not working. Therefore, at every level, thinking is working, right? There's no exception. You know, again, like I always die when there's this interview with Kim Jong Un and he's like explaining the horizon line. He's like talking to some interviewer, right? And she clearly has no fucking idea about art because she's jizzing over everything he does. Like he's put down a line and she's like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." So like, she's fucking coming at the sight of his bald head. But he's explaining the horizon line, right? He's explaining the horizon line. He's explaining the like the simple shapes that he thinks about, and that's basically what he's doing, right? And she at one point, because it's been like it's like a 30-minute video or 20-minute video, and it's like 10 minutes into the video, and she's like, "Oh my God, so you're thinking while you're drawing?" And he's just like, he literally is like, he's like, "Of course I am. What do you mean?" He literally stopped to be like, "Of course I am. What do you mean?" So the thinking never stops, and that's the beauty of it, because you're capable of constantly thinking while drawing. Clearly, I'm not right now, and I made a huge mistake, right? Huge mistake. Maybe just doing something like this will make it seem slightly less bad, right? But not really. It's been made. It's been made. The mistake has been made, right? Now my only job is just to kind of see it through, and to not think too badly about the mistake itself. I'm telling you right now, I don't care. I made a mistake. It's fine. These things happen. It's okay, right? And now my only job is just to, yeah, see it through. right? Make it so that at least if there's consistency in that mistake. Know what I mean? Now this won't make any sense, and I'm gonna leave it after this because clearly I'm not gonna bother with something that has too many errors, right? That doesn't mean I don't like the errors. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate the errors. The errors can't even fucking speak. But now I'm done. It's done. Mistakes have been made. Here, let me just draw a fucking dick on it so we know that this has been cemented as a no-go. Hold up, I do have a couple hairs here as well. There you go. Ta-da. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna draw something else. We're gonna try that again, right? We are going to try again, comrade, and this time no PP on our design. We saved that for the Slavs. Oh god. Okay. Nobody talking. Wonderful. That makes me happy. This is crazy though. The fact that 8 people are watching. I remember when I started streaming, it would be 2 people watching, and one of them was me on my iPad to make sure the stream was working. So that's pretty crazy. But let's see, we did like one, two, three. Okay, we only did three. No, we did 4 designs. There you go. Okay, but that I don't count. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. This time, let's actually think about the fucking. And I'm doing it in the exact same perspective, but we'll try something else. And I guess I do like to have function, but as a pure design exercise, that is pretty fun. So you know what? Fuck it. We'll do it again. We'll try to add a little bit of function, right? So same perspective, because clearly, what did like more than anything, what did that experience indicate to me, right? And what would I like it to indicate to people in general? Well, I couldn't keep the perspective, so that means I have difficulty keeping this perspective, which means my spatial reasoning in this particular orientation is subpar, which means that I must practice it more, right? That's the very simple way I look at it is like, was I shit? Yes. Why was I shit? Seems like I couldn't retain it. Okay, do 100 more repetitions, right? Think even harder. So like, there's not really much beyond that, right? I'm a bit of a fucking smooth brain in that regard, right? If you're expecting something fucking phenomenal, I'm sorry to say, the very clear and consistent answer always is just do more. It's just always do more, right? There's no fucking there's no like, oh shit, did he have a fucking like Kamehameha power up moment, right? Did I the goddamn what was it called again? The Zenkai boost. I did not have a Zenkai boost to put it simply, right? Let's see. I do want to maybe have something here. So it's not the exact same perspective, but it's close enough. But then again, what does that tell me? I have trouble retaining this exact same perspective. Therefore, it being close enough means that I need to try harder, right? So this is the mindset I'd like to instill to every single one of you, is the answer is always more repetitions and more spatial reasoning. Okay? Like you can't go wrong with either of those. I will close this off. Did I want to close that off? No, but I made the decision, so it's what it is. Right? And then, okay, so we have something like this. And I am always thinking about the grid. I fucking need to get back to that one comment on my 2-year beginner drawing video because they're like, what do you mean by the grid? What I mean by the grid is literally the fucking lines. Like literally the perspective lines. That's what I mean. And oh, I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying like that's what I mean, right? Like that's when I say the grid, that's essentially all I'm ever thinking about. Yeah, guys, if there's one thing you can take away from me is the effort and the thinking. And it's very difficult. Like I'm telling you right now, I keep losing the perspective all the time. And my lines all the time. Everything all the time, basically. Like I constantly have to readjust my mind because it is my mind that has to readjust, not my hand, not my fingers, not anything. My mind, because my mind is what is creating the art. My fingers, the skill is that my fingers are simply being trained to respond to them appropriately. right? Appropriately, but the mind is what's already making it. Like I'm seeing this in my mind, however I can, right? This is already like a bit off, as you can all see, because I've already fucked up the perspective. So again, like I keep fucking up the perspective, right? I want to be very clear. Like I literally keep fucking up the perspective. And it's always because I'm not thinking. There's literally no other reason. It's always because I'm not thinking. If you fuck something up, A, you respond positively to it, positively to it, and B, it's just because you're not thinking, right? So it's like actually it's almost it's like the biggest sigh of relief to know that it's your fault, right? That it's all within your control. Because think about it, if every mistake you made wasn't in your control, you know, and that doesn't mean that you won't make the mistake even though you try your best. That's not what I mean. I'm saying that it is literally in our control to get better, right? So that mistake I made, I do believe I was trying pretty hard not to make it, but I ended up making it anyways. But now I know that. And now it's like, okay, well, next time I'm just gonna try my best to make it uh, not happen as much, right? Simply put, you know. Okay, this did end up. See, this is what I mean. Like, I can't retain this box that well, right? That is not the same perspective anymore. But I'm just trying to think. Just trying to think right now. So we could try. And while I'm doing this, again, I'm thinking as much as I can about the box, like as much as I can, right? And I know this doesn't look that good. It's like these are too thin. They don't make much sense, right? And here I actually made a mistake, but because I'm trying to aim for consistency, we'll cover it up, right? And let's see, what do I want to do here? Okay, so I'll do that, do this, bring it back, and then we'll do that. Also off perspective, right? That's fine. Bring it around town. Okay, so this is where the perspective needs to be accurate, right? So if this is my perspective, I gotta, there you go, something like that. That's actually decent. That's actually pretty decent. That hurt my brain a lot. Again, I want to be very clear. That hurt my brain a lot. Hmm. Maybe I messed it up. Okay, well, we'll just have to deal with it, right? But the good thing is that did hurt my brain quite a bit, right? That actually did hurt my brain quite a fucking bit. And again, like I'm trying so fucking hard to keep everything in line. Okay, it's all right. And obviously having that balance of big, medium, small shapes, right? Like genuinely trying to have that balance of shapes. It's also very difficult. Still trying to keep like a little pivot here or a hinge here going, but that is obviously very poorly articulated. Trying my best. I'm trying my best. Please don't judge me. But let's see. Okay, so that something more like that. These cylinders are also, or these ellipses are also off, right? But I think, and again, this is gonna be like a huge gamble because I'm really trying to push the silhouette, but you can see that comes with a cost when my fucking they're not even. But it's not bad. I think this one's actually I'm clearly going in a specific direction with this, which may have merit. There you go. I think that's pretty okay. Let's see. This is supposed to be a hinge that things are hinging around, but it doesn't really look like that anymore. It looks like a pretty. What do you guys think? If anybody's still here, and if anybody's still here who's willing to type maybe like 5 words, what are your thoughts? I know it's pretty convoluted, but I am losing the perspective quite a bit here, I will say. But I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I'm actually very glad because this is a great challenge, right? This is actually a very great challenge. And that's why I always want to view my art as purely just challenges to overcome, right? I literally don't even like to be honest, I very rarely feel frustrated at all now when I draw. Like I don't like I can't even say very rarely. I just don't. The only time I'll ever be like, and the thing is, again, like the only metric I hold myself is by the effort I put in. So I'm putting in a lot of effort. Personally, I always feel like I could put more. Always. I always feel like I could put more effort. But that's just a feeling I have accepted. I will always feel like I could put more effort, you know? And that's okay. Like that's completely fine. Let's see. Hmm. Perspective is definitely still a bit off. You pieces of shit. Nobody replied. How fucking dare you? How fucking dare nobody reply? After I put my heart out there and I was like, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? But I think everybody who was chatting said bye already, so makes sense. I'm all alone with no one beside me. But you gotta have friends. Shut up, donkey. Hmm. Doesn't really make too much sense. I swear that's all I fucking say. I draw and I'm like, hmm. And then I draw again, I'm like, hmm. And then I say some bullshit like, doesn't make much sense. And then I continue to draw. When? When will he stop being retarded? I'm sorry, son. You were born this way. Baby, you were born this way. Daddy, why are you calling me baby? Shut up, baby. That was just some bullshit. I couldn't think of anything else over and under. Not about the bit, like the design. The bit I always have planned. Okay, and then we could just, yeah, do something like that. It's like just embedded in there. Perspective is off. There you go. See? So this is going this way. This one should have been actually way more out like that. Another amazing, amazing mistake. What was your question? What do you guys think of this? Just, yeah, like what do you guys think of this? I know it's pretty meh. TBH fam, it's pretty meh. But just say something that'll make me feel like I'm not a piece of garbage. Please, anything, goddammit, anything. Yeah, the silhouette here I thought was going good, but you see, this isn't good. Because, like, these are medium-ish small shapes. This is just my extremely fucking beginner layman's understanding, right? This is why I don't ask questions. Get the fuck away from me, Osan. How dare you? How dare you say anything that isn't, this looks pretty decent, or this is good, or I love this. How fucking dare you? I only want dick riders on this channel. If you aren't a hashtag ViggyFemmer for life, what the fuck are you doing here? See, I'm losing the perspective again. I take it back. You're right. This is garbage. I like the teeth of the saw looking part. Well, at least you like something, you piece of shit. I know this is really muddied. That was really difficult to figure out. The silhouette for this isn't that good. And the hinge doesn't make any sense, and this doesn't make any sense either. It's clear that I'm actually coming to the. Why is the handle at the top part not even? Uh, mistakes. Mistakes were made. It's not nothing else to say. That's the fucking thing about you, sign. You always ask me stupid shit like, why is this like this? If it's anything that isn't even, you think I'm not aware, you piece of shit? You think I don't know that it's not even? Oh, let me just draw something uneven. I'm aware of every fucking mistake I make. The only thing is, once it's done, I can't fix it. I can't fix it, and you seem to never understand that. It's just how it is, man. I didn't mean to make that mistake, but I made it, and now I just gotta live with it. I just gotta live with it. But they will never understand that. Okay, I'm done with the doxing. Just leave before anybody pays attention, or stay. Also, I know I was roasting my art, being like, why are you like this? Why are you like that? But nobody ever asks, how are you like this? How are you like that? Nobody gives a shit about me, bro. I'm just a fucking. So what's a mean word I can say about myself that'll make people feel bad? I'm just a gay lord. There you go. Gaylord Fokker, to be specific. Great movie. And then we'll just do this. So it's like something being transferred in there. As you guys can see, my mind is not working anymore. I can't draw. Like, I genuinely can't draw right now. But I'm not saying this as like a ha ha ha, I'm so shit, feel bad for me. I'm saying this as ha ha ha, I'm shit, please like and subscribe to me. So there is a distinction to be made, right? I want the right type of pity. But I'm probably wrapping up after this. I think everybody can tell that I'm pretty done. I mean, again, I will always say it was a great session because it was a great session. I tried. I put a lot of effort in. It doesn't matter that at the end of the day my effort was subpar, right? Like in the sense that the output was subpar. Sorry, like what I made was bad, right? Quote unquote bad. It doesn't really matter because what matters is that I really, really tried to not make it shit. And I really tried to think. Like even now, I'm really trying to think. I'm telling you guys, it may not seem like it because you're like, if you were trying to think, you'd be good, wouldn't you? And that's a good point. That's a really good point. But you have been streaming for almost 2 hours, it seems. Thank you for the astute observation. Without that comment, I would have never known I'm streaming for 2 hours. So I really do appreciate you. Thank you. But let's see. Something like that. There you go. That's looks relatively interesting. Hmm. Bro, go rest. No, bro, you go rest. Can't even fucking draw without people judging me anymore. All I've ever done is talk shit. That's all I've ever done, okay? Just insult people when they haven't asked for it. And this is how I get treated? Oh, that's completely off. As you guys can see, fucking, I didn't even follow the contour. This I know my brain's dying. But I will finish this. I have committed to whatever the fuck this is. And I'll finish it even if it's trash. Here, we'll just do something that doesn't make any sense. Good old Osign always reminding me that I should have never put my content on the internet. Thank you, Osign. Watch me take down everything. Alright, that doesn't make any sense. I give up. My brain is not working anymore. How it started, how it ended. But I hope this goes to show that no matter how decent you may be at perspective, right? You can only output and effort for so long before your brain gets tired and you need to take a rest. And I haven't taken a rest. I haven't even done my fucking 10-second brain rest every 2 minutes like I usually do my actual practice because it's all been live. But I'm gonna call it there. Before I end it, I would like to hear everybody's thoughts on how they found the drawings, right? What overall how it seemed. right? These two definitely were when my brain were dying, but I'm glad I did them. I'm glad I still really, really tried to think as best as I could, right? I'm very proud of myself for trying, even though I knew that my brain was just fucking deteriorating and I couldn't think of anything. But these are pretty good attempts. This was pretty okay. This was pretty okay. This was pretty decent. This was pretty okay, right? Just gotta keep trying. But park it. Nah, bro. It's 6 a.m. I'm so tired. Get Parker, what are you doing, bro? Go rest. I will respond to you on Instagram. Just give me a few days, right? But oh, well, I can say it right now. I don't even need to respond. The exercises you did looked great. I really like the unique combination of the cylinders clusters that you did, right? Like angling them against each other. I can tell that shit really pushes your ability with perspective. And I hope you're saying their shit in an objective manner, but not attaching any feelings to them, right? But they look great. Like that's an indication that you just need to do way, way, way more of those, right? And I like that you're doing them in pen. It all looks great. I'm not really one to critique or give feedback. I don't believe so. I don't think I'm in a position to do that. But if I were to, do it anyways, right? Fuck that shit, right? If I were to, right? It looks great. Keep going. That's my mentorship to you. It'll be $500. I take Venmo and Cash App, but I have to go to uni. Oh, GG. Oh fuck, man, you guys are young. Oof, this early, yeah. But yeah, before I go, how did everybody like it? How did everybody like it? Because apparently there's people watching. You fuckers, why don't you actually type for once, you pieces of shit? You probably just like being berated while you have me on in the background, don't you? I know. I called somebody out with that fucking cunt. Right? So somebody has a sly smile on their face right now, be like, ah, he got me. And if I didn't, well, I guess I got gut myself. I gut. But but yeah. So I hope this is evidence that no matter how decent your ability to put effort and your ability to output uh like perspective and shapes is, there'll always be ample opportunity for your brain to just die and be like, go fuck yourself. So there it is. I'm gonna end it in like a minute if nobody responds, but I guess nobody is responding. Thank you for coming on, Osan. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Right, park it as always. The OG, the goat himself. Um, what else? Everybody else who came on, wonderful. Thank you. Anybody who's listening, right? I'm fucking tired of hearing my own voice. I don't know how you guys deal with this shit, but with that being said, I'm gonna end it. Hope you had fun drawing along, right? As always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please give me money.